Well, how did I start painting? I think the first rewards I got from painting were probably when I was a teenager. I think I was sort of rescued from many beatings by the fact that I could paint on newspaper carrier bags, and everybody loved it. So right then I knew that art had a power. I never did much real artwork as a teenager. Well, through school I always liked art, and then I ended up teaching art for 10 years. But after that 10 years I kind of realized that I was telling students that they could do something with art in their lives that I'd never really tried, and actually that's probably when I started painting, about 1980. And I decided that I wouldn't teach school anymore, and that maybe there was a chance that I would become an artist. So then I had 5 years of sort of exploring painting, and and working part-time too at that time. And I'd say for the last 15 years I've just painted, and it's really been great. Well, when I quit school teaching, I moved out to Souk on Vancouver Island, and I lived there for 5 years in a country setting. It was great, and I was trying to really see if I could become a painter. And I had never painted before. I had trained in ceramics and printmaking at university for teaching, so it was a challenge. And but because of that, I think I developed my own sort of personal style. It's quite hard edge, and it's quite symbolic, I think, in a way. At least it's growing that way. It's still representational, but I'm not sure that it's real anymore. Actually, sometimes people say to me that it is very real, and I kind of chuckle because it's not at all. When I moved to Victoria from Souk, I was fascinated by the architecture, and I've always liked architecture, so I painted architecture for 2 or 3 years. This work that I have at this exhibition is a reaction to that, and oddly enough a throwback to exactly almost what I was doing in Souk in my early days. So I'm not sure that I might not be going backwards with my art, but if I am, it's all right. I'm happy with it at this point. Well, technically, my works, it has changed, and mostly it's due to materials, not a change in me. Although I have allowed it to become more abstract, I think, than I used to originally. And originally, of course, I was trying to be representational and maybe be a camera, which I soon actually realized, well, not soon, maybe after 18 months realized was not where I wanted to spend my energy. So I think it's as much my style as anything that influenced how I work. And this was my way that I found to create the images and the feeling that I wanted to pass on to other people. And it works for the architecture as well as for the coastal stuff. In the past 2 years, I've discovered linen. And I used to try to do washes and transparent things on canvas, but I never really just liked the look of it on canvas, so I always work opaque, which again takes a lot more time and is little brush strokes and a long road sometimes. So when I discovered that linen could be used transparently and leave you with a really nice soft texture, unlike what I was getting with the canvas for sure, I realized that, oh, this is a whole new world now. And I don't think I'll paint on canvas again because I just love the linen. And it also allows me the possibility of painting larger because I'm not using just small brush strokes to create the images. And that's a pretty exciting prospect, actually. Well, in the last 5 years, I'd say that I'm realizing myself as an artist and feeling good about it and happy with the things I'm producing, pretty excited about the things that are to come, I think. And but also feeling that I should be saying a little more. An artist has a pretty nice independent position in the world and should take advantage of that and make some kind of a statement. I think that has been happening for me, and when you start to look at the landscape around you, you can't help but realize that it's being destroyed. We aren't paying as much attention to it as we should. So I have been recently just trying to blend something that's enjoyable visually, something that you can relax with, but with an undercurrent of maybe you have to think a little bit about why it is the way it is. This piece probably was the start of that, and it's just the evolution of thinking about our environment and thinking about lost cultures and I guess thinking about how much time we have left and hoping that all of us realize that.